should go right to fucking jail! The son of a bitch is guilty!
Two men did not just act in movies. They changed acting itself. They transformed cinema into something more powerful and more real than audiences had ever seen before. One name is Al Pacino. The other is Robert De Niro. Fire versus ice. Intensity versus restraint. Chaos versus control. Today, we go beyond the usual debate. This is not about fame or who has got more awards. This is about legacy. Who shaped the way actors perform now? Who defined what great acting looks like in modern cinema? Who built the foundation that every new generation stands on? Pacino, De Niro, two legends, but only one truly changed the craft forever. Welcome to CineKraft. This is where we uncover the truth behind the greatest performances in film history. Make sure you subscribe, because today we dive deep into the heartbeat of modern acting. Let us start with the most obvious difference: their energy, their style. Pacino is fire. He is explosive. He uses his entire voice and his entire body to bring emotion to life. When his characters feel anger,
Take a flamethrower to this place!
fear, or desperation, he unleashes those feelings without holding anything back. His performances rise, crash, and erupt like a volcano. De Niro is ice. He is calm. He is precise. He is able to express more with a single look than most actors do with an entire speech. His intensity is buried beneath the surface. It is quiet, but incredibly powerful. Both actors can switch from complete stillness to absolute fury in an instant, but the feeling they create is completely different. Pacino's characters demand attention. De Niro's characters command it. Pacino burns brightly. De Niro freezes the world around him. Both pull you in, just in completely opposite ways. So who is better in this category? That depends on what moves you more: a fire that roars, or an ice storm that never cracks. This is only the beginning. To understand who truly built modern acting, we must now explore their journeys, their peaks, their evolution, and how far their influence reaches into today's cinema. To understand who truly built modern acting, we must look at the careers they shaped. Al Pacino began his journey like a lightning strike. The early 1970s were nothing short of legendary. Film after film, performance after performance, he proved his power fearless. He showed audiences that emotions could explode off the screen and still feel completely real. That was Pacino at his peak, a supernova of talent that everyone in Hollywood had to pay attention to. But that kind of intensity has a cost. Exactly who he was. Robert De Niro, on the other hand, built a different kind of legacy. He never relied on one era. He never needed one defining streak. He climbed and climbed and kept climbing. Every decade seemed to belong to him. From haunting anti-heroes to intense character studies, De Niro built a body of work that remained strong year after year. His performances were not just great for a moment in time. They were dependable, relentless, unshakable. De Niro was the unstoppable march. Awards and recognition reflect some of this story. Pacino has one Academy Award. De Niro has two. Both have shelves filled with trophies and honors. But even awards struggle to capture the full picture of what these men achieved. Here is the truth. Pacino reached incredible heights, but De Niro remained at the top long after others would fade. He maintained excellence across generations of filmmaking. He showed that greatness is not just about rising. It is about refusing to fall. So who built modern acting here? The one who reached the peak first, or the one who turned the peak into a home? To understand who really built modern acting, we must look at their methods. Not the movies, the process behind them. Both Pacino and De Niro trained in the same legendary place, the Actors Studio in New York, a home of method acting, a technique built on a simple but intense idea. Do not pretend to be the character. Become the character. But here is where their paths split. Even under the same teaching, they developed two completely different ways of using the method. Pacino works from the inside out. He starts with emotion, feeling. Why are they breaking? What does the world look like through their eyes? Once he has the emotional truth, he lets it burst into voice and movement.
Say hello to my little friend!
His power comes from a real place inside him. You believe his rage because it feels He changes himself physically until the character slowly takes over from the inside. He has done intense preparation that borders on obsession. He has trained like real athletes. He has changed his body for roles again and again. He has immersed himself in the environments of his characters. That dedication creates realism you cannot fake. So here is the contrast. Pacino loses himself in the emotions of the role. De Niro disappears inside the form of the role. Pacino is a storm you cannot control. De Niro is a mask so perfect that you forget there is an actor underneath. Both methods have influenced generations of performers. But the question remains, which approach became the foundation of modern acting? Is it the emotional truth that Pacino unleashed on screen?
You dumb motherfuckers!
Or the exact physical transformation that De Niro turned into a new standard? This is where the debate becomes even more intense, because both changed the craft, but only one changed it for everybody. To understand who truly built modern acting, we should look at the people who build movies, the directors, the filmmakers who trust actors with their vision, the artists who can see greatness before the audience ever does. When Al Pacino first arrived in Hollywood, he was not a star. He was a quiet young actor from New York theater. Studios doubted him. They wanted a bigger name. They wanted someone safer. But one director looked beyond the surface. Francis Ford Coppola. He believed Pacino had a power that would change cinema. He fought for him. He refused to let the studio replace him. And that decision changed film history. Pacino rewarded that trust with perfecting. He showed that subtlety could dominate the screen. Robert De Niro had a different rise. He did not burst into instant superstardom, but one collaboration changed everything. A partnership built on vision, trust, and pure cinematic evolution. The director was Martin Scorsese. Together, they created a new era of realism in film. Characters who felt raw and unpredictable.
You talking to me?
Stories that reflected the darkest corners of life. Their work shaped an entire generation of filmmakers and actors. Scorsese once said that De Niro was the benchmark, the actor other actors measured themselves against, a performer who would push deeper and farther than anyone else. Pacino inspired directors to believe in the power of emotion. De Niro inspired directors to believe in the power of transformation. Both gained tremendous respect. Both became the first names considered for the most demanding roles. But only one actor became the go-to for shaping the future of performance. Only one became the blueprint others studied. Hollywood trusted De Niro to build a new language for acting, a language that was subtle, detailed, dangerously real. So now the question grows heavier. If directors turn to one performer to lead the evolution of acting, architect of modern cinema?
We have looked at their styles, we have looked at their careers, we have looked at their methods. Now we look at something just as important: their impact on the world beyond the screen. Al Pacino became a symbol, not just an actor, a larger-than-life icon. His character struck a nerve so deep that they took on a life of their own. His intensity, his voice,
Great ass!
his presence, all became part of popular culture. People who have never even seen his films still recognize his style, still imitate the attitude, still connect with the image of a powerful man rising from nothing. His face has been printed on posters, street murals, album covers, and clothing worldwide. His characters inspired fans, musicians, designers, and rebellious dreamers. Pacino became part of the myth of cinema. Robert De Niro became something different, not a symbol, a standard. He did not just influence fans, he influenced actors. He influenced the way films are made. He showed that total immersion can turn fiction into something real. He made authenticity the new expectation, and the industry never looked back. Ask today's great actors who they studied. Ask who taught them that transformation is part of the craft. Ask who showed them that silence can be louder than any speech. You will hear De Niro's name again and again. Movie legend. De Niro shaped the technique of the modern movie actor. One became the poster, the other became the blueprint. So, which one truly built modern acting, the icon everyone recognizes, or the craftsman everyone studies? This final decision brings us to the heart of the challenge. Emotion versus discipline, shock versus realism, legend versus foundation. We have compared their fire and their ice. We have compared their highs and their endurance. We have compared how they changed the world on screen and behind the scenes. Now it is time to decide who truly reshaped the art itself. So, after everything we have uncovered, after every performance, modern acting, Al Pacino made acting feel electric. He gave us characters and moments that became part of culture itself. He showed that emotion could be a weapon, that a character's heart could explode out of their chest and shake the room. He made acting unforgettable, but Robert De Niro changed the craft. He elevated realism into an art form. He set a new expectation, a new standard. He proved that the deepest performances don't scream for attention. They pull you in with precision and truth. Pacino became the icon, but De Niro became the foundation. Directors modeled their films on him. Actors modeled their preparation on him. Studios trusted him to define intensity, vulnerability, silence, rage, all without breaking the illusion for a second. Without Pacino, cinema would be less thrilling. But without De Niro, cinema would be less real. That is why our verdict is this. Robert De Niro built modern acting. He gave us the blueprint. He redefined the craft for those who came after. He became the measuring stick for greatness. But here's the beauty of this rivalry. It's dangerous. De Niro is the steel that keeps movies grounded in truth. One created legends. The other created a legacy. Now, it is your turn. Do you agree that De Niro shaped modern acting more than Pacino? Or do you believe Pacino's explosive power changed movies even more? Comment below and tell us, Team De Niro or Team Pacino? Who do you think truly built modern acting? Because this debate did not start here, and it definitely does not end here.